Shalom, the elected Israel, to the hopeful elected Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth that look like the other nations. First and foremost, we want to face the east. Give all praises to Barak to Yahawah. Barak to Yahawashi. Barak to Yahawah. Barak to Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth, who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their ability. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. I'm going to go into a part 5. And we're going to finish off today, Lord willing, the lesson of the 12 feathers. So I'm going to start where I left off last time with 2 Peter, or 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 21. So this is 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 21. And shalom to everybody who's on the come board, all the ones who are to come in, and to come and exalt the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi together. So this is 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 21. And it reads, and we're gonna it's actually supposed to be 2 Peter. So 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 21. And it reads, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but the holy man of power, which is Yahawah. The men of Yahawah, Yahshua, the sons of the living power, spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. Is what it says in the scriptures. But when you go look it up, it says it comes to the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. That's what's moving us to come through these lessons on the highways and byways. That's what's telling us that this is what we're supposed to be doing. To show that these prophecies were written at a time, for a time for our learning. And so we're out here to display the same thing that happened last time when Yahawashi was on the scene with the 12 disciples and the followers of those disciples of Yahawashi. They were all out doing the same thing we're doing now. They were on the highways and byways compelling people to come to the truth. But it was a lot easier then because Yahawashi was doing miracles at that time. But there was still some who did not believe, who which is 2/3 of our people, which are here back today, who still don't believe. You know? That doesn't mean that they can't be saved. I learned yesterday, listen to, what was I listening to? I listened to a lot of people yesterday. It was GMS in the Truth Orlando. He did a lesson, that was a couple of hours. I was talking about women who were worshiping other gods. And he said that you don't want to just leave that woman just because she's going off. You want to pray to the Lord and let him work, because you don't want her to go into adultery, which is laying with another man, by leaving her. So you don't want to put a burden on anybody else. So you want to wait and let the Lord work on that person. You know? But it said that she still might be saved off of your belief. So we hope that our loved ones will come and the Lord will come and have mercy on them for our faith in Yahawashi and our sacrifice to him, which is out here on these highways and byways. And I was listening to Chicago 12, and he was right about a lot of things, talking about there's a lot of people who claim they love the Lord. Well, if you do, and you're not on the highways and byways, don't be posting scriptures on the comment board. It just, we don't need no social media preachers. We don't need no social media prophets. We need people who's going to actually do the work. You know, and come out and work for Yahawashi and sacrifice themselves for it. So that's all I want to do before I get to this lesson. But, you know, this stuff was written a long time ago, and all the history will show you that it's literally in sync with the Bible and the Apocrypha. So the Lord was dealing with Esdras so much, he sent his archangel down to sup with him, which was Uriel. Okay? That's one of his holy angels. That's one of the Lord's holy angels, which he was using to feed the information to Esdras. Just like now we have the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, he's using them to feed us. So we can come out and feed the flock. If we're not out here, our whole point of doing this is to wake up the elect, get them sealed so we can go home. We ain't doing this to prove ourselves right to people. We know we right. What we're doing this for is so we can get out of here. We're trying to finish the mission. And it's working. Stores is closing down. Money's failing. They're coming up with all kinds of ways to get you to take the seed. You know, until then, we're going to learn why this is happening. So, Uriel, it means light of the Most High, which is Yahawah. Yahawah is the Most High, who everybody ignorantly calls God. So the Lord has passed down very great wisdom, very important wisdom down to us to edify the flock until his return. That's the point of him giving us this truth. It's for us to come and edify the flock and wake up the lost sheep of Israel. We're not here to just, I'm going to feed myself and I'm going to just learn and I'm going to just post on the comment board all day and act like, oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing the work of the Lord. That's not the work of the Lord. We're supposed to be out here where everybody can see. So it'll come to a time where, Lord willing, they'll come across and say, what are you doing? Oh, we're waking up the lost sheep of Israel. Are you one of them? That's the whole point. You know? And it said we're scattered everywhere. So we got to go look for them. We got to go find them. What's a better way than the intersections of the whole city? What I'm going to see, Lord willing. You know? And if you can't do that, if you can do it somewhere, Lord got you doing it somewhere not as busy, that's fine. That don't mean that Lord ain't dealing with you. He might have you over there for a reason for a specific amount of time. So somebody can see that he wanted to see. So you read most of this stuff to a regular person, and they won't really want to know what it's talking about. Because they think that the Bible's a joke. They think that this isn't going to happen. They don't think Yahawah Bahasham and Yahawashi is going to wreak havoc on this place. You know? We have to have a different spirit on us, not to only want to learn it, but to also understand that this is something that you don't take lightly. This truth, you don't want to take it as something that you just put second in your life. You put it first, before everything, even yourself. So we are being moved by the Most High to be able to interpret these words and pour it out to the flock. You know, we have been given heavy lots. And when you look at the word lot, it means destiny, your portion of the ministry. And if you go take a vow to Yahawashi, and he gives you a lot to portray who you're supposed to be in this ministry, because we don't know who we are, but we know we're supposed to be worshiping Yahawashi. That's why we're doing it. Then how is he going to grant us our inheritance that he promised us? We're going to expect our inheritance if we keep doing the work. But as soon as you take your hand off this plow and you start taking it as serious, Lord gonna start taking it away from you. So we got to take this serious every day. Like we ain't got nothing else to live for, because we don't. What else we got to live for? You know? So now we're going to go to Psalms chapter 68, verse 11. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 11, and it reads, "The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it." See, we're supposed to be publishing this. You know, we're publishing it out for everyone to see. So there's not going to be no excuse. And for the ones that do believe and do watch and do have that faith, it's going to be what can save you. You know, we're supposed to do this to save people, you know, from this destruction coming. That's what it's for, to put ourselves in the line of fire. We can get taken out, because it says to come back to wickedness is to make yourself a prey. So then we got people, we got unknown enemies we don't even know about that watch us on the daily, that come through and check out our videos, try to find ways to dismay us, try to find ways to bring us down, try to find ways to make sure that we don't fulfill the rest of this prophecy. But you can't stop the will of the Lord. If he putting the spirit on us to come out here and do it, we're going to do it. So this is our portion to make this public in our captivity. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 29. Lucky. 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 29. The 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 29, and it reads, "And when they so thought, behold, there awakened one of the heads that were at rest, namely, that it was in the midst, for that was greater than the two other heads." These heads that it was talking about in verse 29 is the start of the Flavian dynasty. And basically back then, you had the Flavians and the patricians, and then you had Over here in this time, we have the Republicans and the Democrats. It's the same system. That's why I said we don't battle against flesh and blood in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. So this was the start of the Flavian dynasty, where those three first heads came out of the year of the four emperors had awakened. They were all in agreement, just like the first triumphant we read about in the earlier videos that I did, the earlier parts, where I had Gracius, Julius Caesar, and Pompey. Okay? So, and at this time, what we're talking about now was the time where they led the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD after the burning of the Roman Empire and trying to blame it on the Israelites. They tried to blame it on Jake, which caused this burning of Jerusalem in 70 AD. And what did America, Babylon the Great do? What did they do in 9/11, right? What did they do? They went and made up a fake ass war and went over there and took all that oil. They do the same thing they do. It's the same thing. They doing the same thing. And that's what's gonna get them judged. That's why I said they're gonna get double payment and double wrath for what they did to Israel. Why? Because they doing it all over again. They had 3 times to rule this earth, and they ruled it wickedly every time. They gotta pay. So this is basically a reenactment of the first triumphant, but shorter. When we're not talking about American Babylon the Great, but this period of time where the 4 ruling emperors ruled for a very short time. So the second triumphant is when Augustus was in power. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 30. And it reads, and when I saw that the 2 other heads, and then I saw that the 2 other heads were joined with it. See? That's talking about all of them came together. See? And those 2 heads was Titus and Domitian. Okay, those were the 2 heads that were joined with the other little head, the other head. So this is verse 31. And it reads, and behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the 2 feathers under the wing that would have reigned. And that is going to be Vespasian. That's Vespasian, eating up the other ones. You know, because they were killed. They were killing each other. You know, he killed both of them because he wanted rule. Just like when Julius Caesar was there, they killed him because they were thinking he was trying to receive a monarchy. You know, they thought he was trying to take over and be the only one in rulership. So Vespasian was the 4th, in the head. And this is how we know that Vespasian was Julius Caesar being reincarnated after that time to come back and fulfill more destiny for the Lord. Because what do? When you die, you go to Yahawashi, and he says, you must pay for everything that you did according to your ways, but you can't get judged in heaven because there's no sin there. It's paradise there. So you have to come back here to serve your judgment. This is the only place that flesh and soul is connected. So he lasted longer than the other 3 heads. So this is 2nd Esdras 11, verse 32. And it reads, but his head with the whole earth in fear and bear rule in it over all those that dwell upon the earth, with much oppression. And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been. Okay, this was going into the hell that they was putting on Jake. You know, though, and that started basically between 66 AD and 70 AD when they finally took us down. They didn't just take us over right off the bat. It took time, you know, up to the siege of Jerusalem. Also written with the writings of Flavius Josephus. Okay, he goes into it in grave detail. It's all throughout history to see that the prophecy is all from the Lord. It took a few years for them to take us down, just like I said. They had to cut off food supply, water supply. You know, it was many tactics they had to do before we lost. And there's a video that I seen that GMS and the Troop of Orlando did a long time ago. I might go do a land back on it and play through the video, but it was the Edomite. He went and showed basically what happened throughout those 4 years, you know, in a little video. It's about an hour, but he had it was like a visual to show what happened. You know, we went through all types of stuff. We went through cannibalism. You know, some of our people were eating each other. So that's why this has to happen here. This has to go down for what they did to us. So this is Luke chapter 23, verse 28. So this is Luke chapter 23, verse 28. And it reads, but Yahawashi, turning unto them, said, daughters of Jerusalem, which is talking about the men first and foremost. It says, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. This is verse 29. It says, for behold, the days which they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave son, which was to show how evil these times were. These times during 70 AD, whenever we were taken down. That's what Yahawashi was saying. He was saying, don't weep for me. And this is when he was getting persecuted. Weeping to a boat. He said, oh, y'all finna go through worse. Y'all finna go through just as much. Because the servant is no better than his master. You know? So that's why he said, don't weep for me. You need to weep for the people who is finna have to go through this. You know? Of our people. To fulfill that prophecy. That's why I said, blessed are the ones that aren't even around at that time. You know, some of us was blessed not to go through that time and be reincarnated at a later time. You know, because maybe we died around the time when Yahawashi was killed. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know that much. Yahawashi told Jake this would happen. See? So Yahawashi told him, Esdras told him, Daniel told him. It's been throughout history that this stuff was meant to happen. So this was well long after his crucifixion. You see? This was well long after he was crucified that he was telling this was going to come to pass after he came back and roamed the earth. It was going around and everybody was still learning from him. And he was saying, hey, this is about to go down. You know? on, man? Hey, where you from? Navy? Navy? Yeah, what that is? Turkey? Cherokee? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, look. But we are no. You gotta go. Let me just read one. Let me just read one. Let me just read one. Zechariah, Zephaniah. You know, he is my man, I think he's speaking of the Yahawah is the only one of Israel who's out. Why you think they gonna they gonna say like, oh, they just put $1 billion person all over the place. And then they got 500 people back. Like, oh, they gonna we the people of the Lord. Look right here. Look, it said right here. It says I'm just giving you this one scripture just to show you this is what's coming. Okay, you gotta repent, come back to the ways of the Lord. You know, I know you feel like you got other stuff to do. He don't want to do it. He don't want to come back to the Lord. All right. So he's marked. You done, folks. No, unless the Lord want to wake him up at another time, but he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling it. It's all right. He pointed out his tribe and everything. So that's the 2/3 right there. Your hair all long. They don't want to come back and repent. That's okay. That's okay. You know? So he definitely looked like a northern tribe. You know, a lot of northern tribe brothers, they don't want to deal with it. You know? So you know, see, the Lord will bring us up here just to put people in condemnation. He might come back later after some things happen. Who knows? So where we was at, the Lord was showing how horrible this time would be for Jake. Jake was being starved. He was being starved out, eating his own children, doing all the above. And like I said, that's why it's coming to this place. Just like Jake called hell to avoid the time of Nebuchadnezzar. Jake called hell, around the time of Augustus Epiphanes and Maccabees. Jake called hell among the Flavian dynasty. Now Jacob's trouble is coming. It's coming. This is the next time Jake is going to catch major hell. And they still walking around talking about, I got something else I got to do. I'm busy. Boy, you don't even look like you got no job. Boy, you ain't busy. What you talking about, man? I got to work at the plantation at 5, but you too busy? All right. This is Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. See, that's why we can't stand Jake. We ready to just get out of here, man. Jake don't got no fear of the Lord, man. No fear. Like, nah, I'm good. All right then, bro. But you got to do that, because if they don't know that they sinning, now you ain't got no hope for sin. Lord got them on that path. You know, so we can't get mad at them. But we don't want to see our people perish. That's why we out here doing this. So like I said, we're going to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The reason why Jake don't have no fear, because he don't remember. He don't remember the wrath that Yahawashi put on us. But we remember. We don't remember exactly what happened to us, but we remember. We ain't going to play with the Lord over here. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. All right. And it reads, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that's how we know this is the revived Roman Empire. You know, it said it was, this wound was deadly healed. That's how we know it's the same people coming back. And that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. Verse 10, and it reads, is there anything thereof whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. Just like that guy, he's now Yahawashi last time. That's why he's doing it this time. Verse 11, and it reads, there is no remembrance of former things. neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. And this is how we know the only way that we can remember we went through these captivities is through these holy scriptures, which is Yahawashi in the flesh, these words. And that's how we are quickened to come back to the ways of Bahasham Yahawashi. So that's the time we're in. We're right before Jacob's trouble. And when they attacked Jerusalem, or what we say is Jerusalem, in 70 AD, they knew if they could get in the temple, it was over. So right now, our body is the temple. And they are trying to get us to take the sea here, the Barak. They're still trying to enter in the temple. They say we can enter into the temple of all of Jerusalem, which is us, then they win. You see? That's why they're doing it. They're trying to beat the Most High, but they can't because they're controlled by the Most High. It's all happening all over again, but on a mass scale. This is basically the siege of Jerusalem all over again. But through America, Babylon the Great, and all the four corners of the earth. But here, first and foremost, they want us to put their image at 666 in our temple, which is us. Just like last time, same thing. Because we are scattered, and they can't tell who all Jake is. So they have to tag everyone to win. That's why that's their number one goal. They want to tag everybody and brand everybody for them to win. That's the only way they're going to win. So, I'm Salaki if I say this wrong. It's Kagula, Balmanisa. I think that's how you say it, Salaki if I said it wrong. Wanted to put his statue within the temple. He pursued his inventions and Salaki, what did I say? He basically, his plans was, to put his stuff in the temple, around 40 AD. That was when around he was trying to implement all of his rules. He basically ordained his statue to be injected in the temple at Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem, but under the persuasion of Herod Agrippa or Argipea. Salak, if I said that wrong. The Romans was mad at his tyrannic rule in AD. 4 months after he returned from Gaul, he was murdered. At the Palestinian Games by Crassus Caharia, okay, he was basically a tribute of the Roman guard. So he was like a hitman. Okay? So this is Luke chapter 28, verse 30. Actually, it's Luke chapter 23, verse 30. Salakia. So Luke chapter 23, verse 30. And it reads, then shall they begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. And that's what they were doing because it was so horrible at that time. That was the times when we was fleeing into Africa after those raids, after they took over Jerusalem. That's what we were doing. We were running into Africa trying to get away. You know? There will be a lot of death and betrayal during Jacob's trouble. But the elect, whomever they may be, Lord willing, we part of that number, their sorrows shall be turned to joy to see the downfall of their enemies. And Lord willing, we part of that number because these are our enemies. And we hope to be on the right side. You know, we Yahawashi by staying in his faith. Talks about how the elect will be taken care of at this time. This is Revelations, verse 13. And it reads, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And the woman is Israel, and the man-child is Yahawashi. You know, that woman is basically Jerusalem or Jerusalem or Israel. You know? And the two wings, they go into the southern kingdom that fled into the mountains, into Africa. Basically, the ones that were able to escape. Not all of Israel got to escape. That's why I was saying some of them died. A lot of Israelites died in that time and were heavily persecuted. We are the fruit of those that escaped from the south for 1,000 years. Then came the South Atlantic slave trade. There was even a slave ship called Jesus Lombard. Okay, there were slave ships with the name Jesus on them. Why would the Lord come back and that be the Lord's name? We know that's not his name. And basically, we were primarily in the west of Africa off the coast. Because there are a lot of vital resources on the coast. And that's where the Edomites, they would ship trees. That's where they went to get trees, you know, and ship everything. That's where everything was shipped at. It was easy for them to ship their resources right off the shore instead of being off in the mainlands and having to travel all the way to the shore. So it's Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 5. And it reads, By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because thy riches. And that's what happened. They did a whole lot of trafficking through slavery and through all the other things that they have taken over from the other earth, from the other nations. And this is how this place became rich, through that sword. So this is Revelations. We're going to go back to Revelations, chapter 12, verse 14. And it reads, and to the woman were given 2 wings. That's those 2 wings. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom that ran into Africa. Of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time from the face of the serpent. That was 1,000 years. We were able to be at peace, and we were able to get away, and we were able to rule elsewhere. You know, we were able to dwell safely. And then they came and got us. Deuteronomy 28:68. Bring us over here. So basically, this period, after that 1,000 years of peace for us, we're able to, you know, get away from this serpent, which is Esau eating the so-called white man. We were in Africa and brought back, or brought over, not brought back, but brought over to America, Babylon the Great. 350 years passed. Then this truth began to spread in the 1960s and the 1970s. Starting with Abba Bivens, King Masha, Priest Ariyah, and Elder Yahawah. Those are our 4 spiritual fathers. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. That's what I'm saying. These people walk around, they'll walk through here, and they think that this truth is nothing. They have no idea what they're missing out on. But it's because the Lord got the spirit on them to be like that. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. And it reads, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him that is which in the field return back to take his clothes. This goes back to when they sacked the temple and they took everything and destroyed it. And we ran into the mountains. There's a wall that Amalek, the first descendants of Esau, the ones who claim they're the Jews, there's a wall they pray to called the Wailing Wall. It's Amalek worshiping a false idol, which is Fort Antonia. It's lucky it's a little windy out here. Fix it. But yeah, that's Fort Antonia. It's who they were worshiping. The Colosseum was also built off the riches they had taken from the temple, which shows how much riches was in the temple. The Colosseum was big, you know. They built that just off the riches in the temple alone. And they also built the Ark of Titus. It was to be built. Bear with me 1 second. Try to fix this real fast. Okay. All right, Salakia. All right. Like I said, they also built the Ark of Titus. It was built by the spaceship. But when you go into the images that were placed in it, there's images of Roman soldiers walking out and carrying out the golden candlestick. You know, Hanukkah, that stuff is our customs. They took out our golden candlestick. You know, when you go look at it, it shows them destroying our heritage, just like Nebuchadnezzar did in the time of Babylon. They have a replica of it in Atlanta as well. So at that time, the Roman Colosseum was one of the 7 world wonders to take down Israel and to take their riches. So it's the 2nd Esdras chapter 11 verse 32. And it reads, but his head put the whole earth in fear and bear rule in over all those that dwell upon the earth with much oppression, and it had the governance of the world more than all the things that have been. So that's what it was talking about. So when you come back over here, you know, it's talking about that Flavian dynasty over that year of 4 emperors. You got verse 33, and it reads, and after this beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. So his time had came and was gone. What's up, man? Hey, where you from? Where you from?
I'm from Texas.
You Native American?
I'm Mexican.
Well, tell me your tribes over here real quick. You got a couple seconds? Couple seconds. got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon. You say you Mexican, right? That's this part. This part. That's your people, man. And it said in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, that he said, I will bring you into Egypt again on ship. Basically, we'll be back. Let's look at
Oh, I got a little bit.
a little bit? Okay. Okay. Just give me a second. I'll give you a couple precepts because it's danger coming, okay? This one, they don't want you to know that it's basically being the end of the world right now. The devil has been deceived. Okay? And the devil, what they did was, okay, so you know how they say you're Mexican and I'm black, right? Well, it says, you get to Deuteronomy. Okay, this is part of the curses. We're under heavy curses. Because we sinned against the Lord, but now he's letting us come back. But his name is Jesus Christ. Okay? That's not his name. Okay, but I'm going to show you real quick. So it's Deuteronomy chapter 28. Okay? And right here, I'm going to go. I want to do 68, but I want to see if I can find one before that because it said that we would be bywords. Okay? I think it's verse 48. Look, right here. So, this is right here. It says, therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies with the Lord, his name is Yahawashi. Okay? It was painted on Hebrew. That's what we all knew back then. Like basically you're the northern tribe. Yeah. And we're the southern tribe. We were separated and scattered because we sinned against the Lord. So it says, serve thy enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness and in want of all things. We gotta get our stuff from. White man, no. Everything we do, we go to work, we gotta get our clothes, we gotta get everything. And it goes on before the earth is given to the end of the week. Because the judges change judges. See? And on top of that, you look at history, they didn't make those terms white, black, or all white words. And they make those for 60 days. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Didn't we get let out of Egypt last time? Why would we have to go see the ships? Go up, okay? So put in GMS declaring the end. And that's possible hard. Hard. GMS. GMS declaring the end. This is possible hard. Basically, one of our heads. Okay? GMS. Yeah, you're right. GMS. And then declaring the end. Subscribe to that guy and watch. Okay? Watch, learn. Hey, get your heritage back. Like I said, it's like 5 okay? And 1/3 remember this. Okay, have you seen this on that chick? Yep. And you go see it in the door. Hey, they're about to stay away from that. They're about to make a man. Hey, don't worry. All right, call on Bahasham Halal. He got Elder the Apostle the Hars. page, and Lord willing, he'll go in there and get edified and come back to the ways of Bahasham, Rawchaa. You know? So, see, that's why we out here. We out here to wake up Israel. He said that he's Mexican. So basically, that's Issachar. He don't. He said, "Oh wow." He accepted everything I say. He said that makes sense. I'm gonna look into it. Oh, all right, got it. I caught it. It's hard doing all this on your own, so bear with me. It's not the easiest thing. So let me see if I can find something to set on this. Bear with me 1 second. It's starting to get a little windy. All right, Lord willing, that'll help. Set this over there. Usually bring my speaker so it'd be heavy enough to keep it down. See, that's what we need, that 12 signs tribe. The 12 signs of the tribes of Israel. That's what they see. Oh! Page is tearing up. Okay. Okay. All right. Back to it. Where am I at? Oh, man. Okay. I'm not on that page. I'm past that. Past that. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's where I'm at. Okay. Salakia. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Put this page back here so it won't be flying off. Some of the page is tearing out by accident. Okay. 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 So just about done. Bear with me. I'm almost done. I gotta go right over here. Yep, because that's another lesson. Okay. So yeah. I'm just about done. Okay. Like I see where I think I'm at, but I just want to make sure I didn't skip nothing. Yeah, I did that last time. think that's where I'm at. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna read down a little bit. Where we're at, we were talking about how I feel like I'm missing the page. Yeah, right here. Yeah, okay. Lock you. Sorry about that. Okay, like I said, we were at around verse 34 is where we're at. When it was talking about those candlesticks and then they were gone. So this is verse 34, and it reads, but there remained two heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth, and over those that dwelt therein, and behold, and lo, a head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. So that was that first head, which was Vespasian, and he died. In the movie called Life, when they was getting ready to let loose, he went into the bathroom, Vespasian did, and he never returned because he died trying to take a damn shit. How you gonna be a great ruler and that's the way you go? Damn. And Lord told. So that's exactly how Vespasian actually died, you know, in reality. So he died of, some say he had a mixed diarrhea. Some of them said he had stomach cancer or somebody poisoned him. There are multiple stories how he died. You know, the issues that he had, viral diseases, you know, stuff like that. There's people that they say. But when you read about him, he was Titus's father. And there was a lot of controversy at that time, and Titus was fighting for him. He was fighting Jake. But we're not completely sure how he died. So when it goes to the verse 35 that I just read with 34, the two heads was Titus and Domitian. There are certain men who said Titus died in a fire. Some say he was murdered. Some say he was poisoned by his brother. A lot of betrayal for power was at this time. So now we're going to go over to 2nd Esdras chapter 12. Now we're going to go over to 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 20, 28, 29. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 28 and verse 29. For the sword of the one shall devour the other, but the last shall he fall to the sword himself. See, he died. That's talking about Vespasian. And whereas thou sawest two feathers under the wings passing over the head, that is on the right side. You know, that's going into those last two heads. So when you go to the 12th chapter, it's basically a breakdown of the 11th chapter, but it's a little bit more complex version after you learn who these 12 feathers are. Second Esdras, chapter that second Esdras verse 36. That second Esdras, that verse 36. It chapter 11 verse 36. This is the only other reference that shows the connection of the Apocrypha connected to the Lion of Judah in Revelation chapter 5. So we're going to read that real quick. One second. Where's it at? Oh, it's verse 31. So I'm going to read it real quick. Verse 31, and it reads, of 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 31 is the only other place that links in Yahawashi as being a lion. And it reads, and the lion whom thou sawest, and let's do 30. Let's go ahead and start at 30. It reads, it signifieth that these are they whom the highest have kept unto their end. This is the small kingdom and the full of trouble as thou sawest. And the lion, which is talking about Yahawashi, whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle, and that's what Yahawashi did, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast said. This is the anointed, which the highest has kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. See? For he shall set them before him alive in judgment and shall rebuke them and correct them. And that's how we know that's Yahawashi. And he's coming through his men to do it one more time. See, it's all connected. So why it is so vital to be on the highways and byways? Because our people are lost. And now out here walking around. And we got to wake them up. Well, we can't wake them up. We can shed light to them, and the Lord has to wake them up. But if we're not here to do it, are they going to wake up? So that's the connection from the Lion of Judah, which is from there to in Revelation 5. It talks about Yahawashi being a lion as well, without the Apocrypha. So that's the only time Yahawashi is mentioned as a lion. It shows you basically the connection, of the scriptures. Basically, second Esdras chapter 11 and 12 is the only other place. The roaring lion in second Esdras chapter 11 verse 31 through 37. That's Yahawashi. He's returning to claim the throne and his bride, the elect. That's what he's coming back for. We got a connection with that. It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 40. I'm just about done. Got a little bit more. how sometimes they'll be like, Lord bless you, and all, hey, walk by. You try, hey, you got a second? Well, you gonna say bless the Lord, but you ain't got 10 minutes. You ain't got 5 minutes for you to learn how not to die. I'm telling you, man. He done got our people bugged out. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Wait, hold on. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. See, it already was working back then. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And that's what's coming. He's going to be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahawashi will consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is through his prophets, the mouthpiece, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is those intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what's coming in this place. That's the only thing that's coming. MOTB. And hey, I asked the dude, I said, you know what the frogman is? You know what the sea gift is? He said, no. I said, you know that CIJAP you put in your hand and you scan the door? He said, oh, I know about that. Oh, I ain't gonna mess with it now. See? Now he knows. Some of our people really don't know. And this stuff to us, we look at it like it's simple. Like, how can somebody not understand this? But our people are literally blind. They can't see. We got to show them that, hey, this is what it is. So if you take it, I told you, boy. I told your ass. You know? But if we don't, then that blood's going to be held accountable on our hands. And that's why when they try to walk past you, hey, hold on. Hold on now. Bear with me for 15 seconds, boy. Let me tell you something. You know? So this is 2 Esdras, chapter 11, verse 40. We're going to continue. We're almost done. You know, y'all, the ones who watch me, y'all know I'm long-winded, trying to do better. We know most of Jake got a short attention span. Only the true hopeful elect, really those ones who will take that time and tune in. So the one for tuning in, follow Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. So, 2 Esdras chapter 11, verse 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth, which much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt upon the earth with deceit. Gonna keep continuing. Verse 41. For the earth thou hast not judged with truth. See, that's what it means in Job 9:24. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. They covered up judgment. There's no rightful judgment in this land. Verse 42. But thou hast afflicted the meek, which means lowly. That's how most of us are. We're very lowly over here. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that have brought forth fruit, which is this doctrine. That's what they did last time. In 70 AD, they killed all the prophets. Isaiah was chopped in half. They got to pay for that over here. And while they paying for that, they still doing wickedness. So you know they're going to get punished. We got punished. How is they not going to get punished? So, you know, this is what the lion was saying to the eagle. Okay, this is what Yahawashi was saying to him at that time. That's why they crucified him. So now we are finishing the job. So now we're going to go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 8, verse 11. No, second 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8 through 11. We already read verse 7 and 8, so we're going to go to 9. And it reads, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And, you know, it was real spiritual what happened today. We had one Issacharite who denied the truth, and then we had one who's taking it under consideration. And the other one was going to the right, and the other one's going to the left. That's spiritual. We're supposed to be that rebuker at the gate. See? This is the gate. The highways and the byways. You'll go to one place you didn't think nobody walked through, and the two people that the Lord wanted to talk to, out of the whole place today, came through. So this is verse 11. And for this cause, Yahawah, which is power, shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. He believed a lie. That's why he kept walking and didn't want to believe. The other one took it under consideration. He took Elder Apostle Tahar's video down. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be leading them to our elders and apostles and tell them to listen like we did. You know? And Lord willing, you know, I'm going to pray for him. Lord willing, he get the truth. So that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. But we are bound to give thanks always to power for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And he's talking about the women too, because it says that he said he would call sons and daughters. He's just talking to the brethren first and foremost, because it's our duty to take care of our women. You know, not saying that we know they're to serve us, but we're to take care of them as, you know, show them that we appreciate them as well. You know, there are ways that you can show that you're a woman that you appreciate them. One good way, one very good way, is coming up with ways how to serve the Lord better together. What's a better way than that? You know, helping them aid the ministry just like you trying to aid the ministry. You know, that'll be your strongest connection in your relationship. And there'll be other things as well, but that is what's going to be that rock that keeps it stable. Salakia. So, like it says, brethren, beloved of the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, because power hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation. See, he's going to save the women too. Through those men, through sanctification of the spirit and belief of the truth. You know, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful right there. Now we're going to go to Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. A few more precepts and then I'm going to be done. I'm telling you, these notebooks I be taking notes in, by the time I get to the end of things, be destroyed, man. Be studying, you hear me? That's what we're supposed to be like. We're supposed to be studying. You know, day in and day out. There's always something that we can learn about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Psalms chapter 55, verse 20, and it reads, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. And it says, I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city. And that's what we're doing. We're dividing, our people through the word of the Lord. 2/3 and 1/3. And we hope to be part of the number of the 1/3. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 13, verse 7. Which is Sirach. And it reads, and he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. In the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. So basically, when we were in slavery, they said we didn't need rest. That's why the Lord is going to jack their ass up. Okay, they're going to get torn up. They're going to pay double for what they did. So now we're going to finish out the second Esdras. Just about done. Second Esdras, chapter 11. Verse 43, and it reads, Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. Verse 44, and it reads, The highest also looked up upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And that time's almost up for these devils. It's almost over. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed. That's what we're waiting on, to be refreshed. But we're first starting with this truth. And may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Now we're going to do 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 5 and 6. And then we're going to close out. So it's the 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 5 and 6. And it reads, For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Where? Where, Lord? Right here on the highways and byways, week in and week out. And we pray to Yahawashi that he keeps us in that spirit of charity and honor to his name. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. Want to face the east and give all praises to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth that have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness, and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who dwell upon the elect, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, let's be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So the water for tuning in. Stay prayed up. And Lord willing, we'll have another day to exalt the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, or we'll have the day of evil to where we can ready to get out of here and go home. So while above, above. Shalom.